Let's start off with dragging and dropping the add-on. So we're going to install that. Once installed, I already have it installed. So once installed, basically, we can have it over here. It requires a camera and a curve, right? So let's get rid of this camera because it might create some problem down the road. Basically, the problem is there's an organization. We like to have everything managed in a certain following structure. So that's why it's better to get rid of that. So it requires a camera and a curve. So of course we can create a camera and curves the way that we're doing. Like we can go ahead and create our camera from here and then design our curve from there. But we have some of the more common one over here. For example, we'll again have something like, for example, cinematic arc, right? So something like that. When we create that, you'll create a curve along with a camera, and they put them in this folder structure. Let's create another one. So over here, we can go ahead and create a dolly zoom. So this is another one. Of course, we can go ahead and do some editing. So let's create one last one. That would be basically reversal shot, something like that. Okay. Again, so we can go ahead here and move it the way we want, with the direction that we want, so on and so forth. Right. Now we need to hook up these traces or curves with the cameras, and that is very easy. We can select Cam 1 and then Rail 1, and there we go. And then what is the object that we want to trace? So let's get rid of this one and have something that has more sense of direction and angle to it. So go here and then select this Suzanne. Perfect. So now we're going to follow this, and then basically we are ready. So it's all set up. So we can go ahead and see that it is looking toward Suzanne all the time, and then we have control in its position. Let's set up the other ones too. So this is 2, and then 2 set up, follow the object, and then just quick test of it. So it is going back and forth. And then the last one would be this, and then this, and then set up, and then let's do that test for this too. All right, this is not following the object. So there we go. Now we see that the angle of the looking of the camera has been changed too. All right. So this is basically just of it. So let me go ahead and test one of these cameras, for instance. I'm going to have it over here. Let's say, as an example, let's test this one. This is Cam 1, right? So let's make sure that we have on our view this Cam 1 selected. So Cam 1 is going to be selected. Now, when I hit 0, that would be the Cam 1 that we are looking at. So let's get rid of this, and then here on CamRail, again moving that. So it looks like it is not the one. I think I had to select Control and 0 rather than 0. So Control and 0. There we go. Now we have it. One thing. Oh, I'm looking at camera 3. So we wanted to do on camera 1, right? So let's make sure that that is a selected camera. That is a selected camera. Now we have it, right? Okay. Same thing for the others. So this one, we can move it, and then still it is looking. So let's get it selected. Now we are looking at that. So maybe we want to have a nice setup for all the cameras. Then we look at them all together. So this one, this is already camera 1. So this one we're gonna go to the view and select Cam 2 here. Cam 2, okay. And this one, I'll go here and select Cam 3. Cam 3, okay. Not Rail 3, but Cam 3. All right. So now let's see what we've got here. Let's go to cam 1. So this is cam 3, cam 1, cam 2. All right, so my cam 1, I'm going there, selecting there. Now that is my cam 1 moving. This is my cam 3, select there. Now this is my cam 3 is moving, right? And then the last one, cam 2, select from view. This is the one that is moving on, right? So you can see that very quickly, very easily things can be set up. Now let's look at some of the, and this is basically the gist of it. Now let's see, I'm going to go over the different buttons and then options that we've got here. So here, let's focus on this cam. Whatever it was, I'm going to select that, right? So let's focus on this cam 1, right? So let's make it slightly larger. We already saw set up camera rail. Sometime we want to move this, for example, a little here, right? So once we do that, make sure to click on set up camera rail again. So basically that will ensure that the camera will be snapped to the trace as well, and then same position. Still it is looking at the camera. And then break the camera link. Sometime maybe we have created our own cameras in our own traces. For any reason, if you want to remove this cam 1 and rail 1 and then change the dependency of those, we need to do that. By that, what I mean is that, so if I click on delete, now I have an option of to select different stuff. When I select the cam 1, automatically rail 1 also is going to be connected to that. So we might want to break this connection so we do different dependency between cameras and rails. The other thing is, let's say over here, I am in camera 3, right? If I want to select camera 3, this is going to be that. So camera 3 will be selected automatically. So from here to view, we're going to do that. So let's do another one, camera 2. That is the case. If you want to do it the other way, so if you want to do from here, basically select it here and then have it here, to click on this one. So that is another option. So because we did move the camera 1, it forgets basically what we're looking at. So let's look at Suzanne again, and now we have everything up and ready. All right. So what are the options here? We have option of none. It's basically the not many useful option, but we have it there, right? So it's basically not doing anything. Whatever it is set on, we can have that set on, and then you can see it sound like that. And then we have a little more flexible. So that is that. On this one, we will have basically an option to change the pitch and roll and yaw of the camera. So follow the way that we want to follow it, right? And then it's basically looking ahead from sides. So the most important one, the most useful one is this one. Of course, then over here, once we have it, although it is following the object, still we can give it some offset, right? So that would be very useful sometimes when we're following it or the object is moving itself. We might want to tweak that slightly, right? So that would be basically the most useful case. We already saw how the select to view works. We already saw this one. And then all of these is for animating, right? So at the end of the day, we want animation. So over here, let's go to the start. And this is the middle and end. And let's create some animation off of that. Animations are going to be animations for camera, which makes sense. So then over here, I am at 1. Once I set up, I click on this, so it'll make a keyframe for me. And I'll go there, and I'll change my location, and I create another. So then I have this animation created, right? So this is, of course, all of these animatable options are available here. And then they'll work with the focus or any other settings basically that is animatable here as well. So let's go over here onto frame 1 and then make that 150. And then let's go here on this one and this one. Let's zoom out, right? Making sure that we're creating keyframe from that, now we can see that this is working as it's supposed to be working. All right. So then if I want to, that keyframe here, clicking on that is the same thing as clicking over here. And then we can clear all from here. That is not something that I'll do for now. The other thing, enable hand effect. So if I do that, any of those, let's say on this one, I want to have enable the hand effect of, let's say, vehicle, right? Let's say a drone or something. Then we need to make sure that we click on that here. Now let's see what is happening. As you can see, it is kind of subtle movement that is due to the kind of vehicle movement. So if I can go ahead and increase the intensity of that and click off that, and now this might be a helicopter kind of movement, right? So a very useful one that we can take advantage of those options that are available. So this is walk, run, nervous, earthquake, and vehicle. And in the future, I might add different sort of effects as well. Now the other, let's go ahead here and remove that. So I'm gonna remove that, making sure that I'm doing the keyframe here, and then that is that. And then over here, all of these speed of the camera, we have these options as well. So we can go ahead and select, let's say, ease in, ease out, right? So basically the shape of the curve that we want to do. So in this case, these are going to be basically feeling slightly different, the way that they are going to be moving the camera. These are also available. So here that we can, and this is basically the Blender itself, right? So we have those options here as well. So that's something just there if someone want to use them. But anyways, that's how the CamRail add-on is working. And the idea was basically came to me from Unreal Engine. So we have similar functionality in Unreal Engine, but I'll admit that over there it's a little bit difficult to use and not much smooth. And I try to get the idea over here and then do it the way that I feel it's going to be smooth and easy for the end user to create some complex motion for the camera in Blender.